Business Analyst training program. So before we start the course and you understand what you are going to learn, let me show you a business analyst job posting and you will understand what actually business analyst doing and what's the expectation in the job market. Okay, so this is sample job posting. You see, the job posting start with a team is building a software application. So this what is the opportunity always you see, what's that that team is building a software application for some booking application like a taxi ride or airplane, or if you come to banking, a team is building to check deposit, team is building a application for the currency exchange or for the loan application. So the first step is in the job description you can see what that specifically team is building in the software. So next what you will do, right? So you can see, if you don't understand these things, don't worry, just to give you an idea what you are going to learn to become a business analyst. Okay, so you will see something requirement management and business process modeling, business analysis, project delivery, risk analysis and management, and some stakeholder and relationship management. So these are required in order to work in a software development project as a business analyst. And see, if you are wondering what type of education is required, so it's nice to have a bachelor degree, but it's not mandatory. So if you have a bachelor degree, any sector, that's fine, arts, commerce, business, finance, or science, or engineering, anything, that's fine. And nice to have experience with waterfall, agile. So these are software development SDLC process. So you'll learn these methodologies in detail. So but you need to understand this concept very well. Okay, so what we are going to cover in this course, these job skills like agile methodology, analytical thinking, business data analysis, and all of these job skills you will learn. You will be using different projects to cover this one banking project to learn these all skills. Okay, so before I talk about the introduction, what we are going to cover, I want to give you an understanding how much salary you can expect if you become a business analyst. So these are all online data. This is again one more declaration. These are Canadian dollar rates. Canada is specific, but if you are watching this demos or courses from other countries, but you can get an idea. If you Google search, you can get this data, but you have to know how much is your salary before you go to an interview, so that you can answer to the how much your salary expectation every interview. This is a very important question, so you can answer specifically, give a right answer to that question without asking less or higher amount. Okay, so as far I know, there is no junior business analyst role exist. Nowadays projects hire, they expect business analyst should perform like a lead level or senior level, but I do see this data exist in online, so that's why I'm just giving an idea. So business analyst, if you are a new student and if you are new to this world, so you can apply this range. So it's saying 0 to 5 experience, but your case you don't have any experience here, so let's assume no experience, even though it's data saying 60,000 to 105. So you can start asking anything above 70,000. So maybe if you are low confidence, you have to do a Google search, go to Glassdoor and other online resource, see what that company is offering. So it's safe to ask anything above 65,000 to 80,000 if you are starting as a new role without experience. Okay, senior level you can ask anything about 80,000 and above. Lead business analyst, I don't need to talk about, because if you become a business analyst and senior business, you have an idea. So by this time you have a good understanding, 5 to 6 years experience, so you know what is the salary range to ask. But just to give an idea, you can ask anything about over 100,000. Okay. So this the next level principal. Some projects need a principal, a business analyst, a business solution expert, so they can earn more than 100,000. It's similar to the lead business analyst. Okay, so these are area in Toronto area if you are planning to apply. So again, just a summary: if you are starting as a business analyst, you can ask anything above 70,000 based on the project. If you have experience, you can bump it up a little bit, and you can ask like 80 to 90k. I would recommend to keep the big starting this one, so 70 90, not to the upper level. And also technical business analyst, yes, you can ask 90 to 100,000, and we don't need to talk about this because already it's covered. Okay, so just to summarize, three categories I think I have put here. Start with 65 to 75, and if you are senior, ask 100, anything above 80 to 100, and next level you can ask over 100,000. So 65 75, 80 to 100, or then 100. So these are the three categories you can start with. Okay, and if you are a contractor, so bank, they hire contingent workers, lot of contract projects. So the agency will ask what's the hourly rate you are expecting. So if you are a business analyst, I would say the three categories we are talking about, right? The senior or business analyst, you can beginning, you can ask $35 per hour to 50 is safe to ask. 55 you can ask, and senior you can ask 85, 85 to 90, I would say less than 100. Okay, so even though it's say 120, 85 to 100, it's safe to ask, you will get the job. More than if it is project specific, if you have 10 years experience, yes, you can ask over $100. Usually the consultancy, the recruiter calling you, he or she will provide you the hourly rate also. So first you can ask what is the hourly rate they are offering. If it is fit your expectation, you can confirm that hourly rate is good for you. Because why you get high pay rate here for the contractors, because you have to do your own taxes, so that's why you are getting hourly rate, higher rate here. Okay, so just to summarize, if you are a beginner, new graduate, start asking 70 and 85k, it's safe to ask. With the domain knowledge and everything, you can ask 80 to 100,000, and more than the third level you can ask over 100,000. Okay, so that's the salary range. Now let's jump into what we are going to cover here. Okay, so now let's understand. Many people think a business analyst spend their entire life writing requirements documents, right? That's not true. So a business analyst here, let me highlight this one. So a business analyst is a problem solver, right? So what problem we are solving? So let's understand that one. Business analyst help business understand their problem, identify opportunities, and work with different teams to deliver solutions. So software solutions here we are talking about. Okay, let's take example. Think your daily life. So when you order online food, transfer money, and ATM, you are using ATM. There are many people and process and software system working together behind the scenes, right? Like to get a final product or service on your hand, behind the scene there are technologies working behind the scene, there are process involved, and there are many people involved, that one, right? So business analysts help organization understand how all those pieces fit together. It's a very important role. So in this course we will start with fundamentals, like you will learn how business operate, we will learn how software system work, and we will learn how requirement gathered and documented. And also you have seen the job posting, right? It's asking, let me show you again here. This nice to have this information, right? So we will learn Agile, Scrum, process mapping. So how the software is developed, like SDLC, software development lifecycle, and how the requirements is documented, like user stories and BRDs, and technical component like how the data is transferred using API, and how the data is stored in databases, and how these all integrated together. That's a system integration. So most importantly, we will learn how banking system work, because we are going to use the banking as the domain. So we will we will help banks to develop software using our business analysis. Okay, so by end of this program, you'll understand real banking projects, like customer onboarding, account opening, loan origination, credit card processing, payment processing, fraud detection, online banking system. So what we will your takeaway going to be end of this program, you will be using this project, so use cases from these scenarios, so that you can understand clearly the concept what we are going to discuss. You will also create a real business analyst deliverable, including like you will be working like a business analyst, not only watching or listening. So you can practice along with me. So you will get to know how to write BRD, business requirement documents, and process flow, how to document the business process, and how to write user stories, acceptance criteria, stakeholder analysis, and Jira artifacts. So throughout the course, I'll teach using simple real-world examples before introducing the technical concepts. My goal is not simply teach you theory. My goal is help you think like, work like a business analyst. That's the main primary goal. Is it's a virtual training, so you can follow along and you can practice what I'm explaining here. Okay, so by end of this training, you should be able to confidently discuss business analyst concept and understanding the banking project what we are going to use. You can relate it those one, and participate in agile teams, right? So agile we are going to discuss, and business you can use this knowledge to pass your interviews. Okay, so thank you for joining me on this journey. So let's get started with the module 1, which is how business work. Okay, so let's jump into lesson 1. So before we learn software system, agile, and user stories, APIs, database, or banking, we need to understand one important question: why do business exist? You know, think about your daily life. When you wake up in the morning, you probably use product or services from many different businesses. You may buy a coffee from your favorite coffee shops like a Starbucks, or you may shop at your favorite grocery store, Walmart, or other grocery stores. You may use online shopping like Amazon, right? So you may use banking app to check your account balance. You may use booking softwares like Uber or airplane, hotel booking, those kind of things. All of these business are different, right? So if you see, these all one common thing, these are business, and but business are different. But what is the common thing here? There's a common thing here. All the business, why they exist, they are try to solve a customer problem, right? So here, a grocery store help people buy food, right? A bank help people store and manage money, right, to fulfill their day-to-day financial needs. An airplane help people travel. A hospital help people receive medical care. A business exit because customer have a need. So this is very, very important to think like a business analyst. When a business successfully solve that need, customer willing to pay for the service. That payment becomes for the business revenue, right? So let's look at a simple example. Imagine you are there is no grocery store wherever city you are living. If you want to buy milk, bread, eggs, fruits, and vegetables, you would need to visit a multiple farms and supply. That would be this is very time consuming, difficult, right? So a grocery store solve problem by bringing products together. So this is very important. If you understand the grocery store, so grocery store is helping to bring the product together. Otherwise you have to go to a different farm, right? Like buy fruits and vegetable one farm, X one farm, and you have to go to a supplier who make bread. So you have to visit multiple places, right? So consumer receive convenience, right? So the grocery store earn revenue, both side benefit. This simple concept is called value. Business create values for customers, customer provide revenue to business. Now let's think like a business analyst. A business analyst, we must always understand. So there are 4 items. I have highlighted only 3 because these 3 questions, every time you write a requirement, you get a requirement, you need to understand why we are building this one. So who is the customer? First thing you need to understand, who is the user, who is the consumer, or who is the client. So there are different terminology in the banking. We use client or customer, but when it comes to a software, we use the terminology user, but it's all referred to one. Who is the person using that service? So who is the customer here? What problem are they trying to solve? How does the business solve that problem? How does the business make money? So these 4 questions will follow us through our entire business analyst career. Before moving to next lesson, remember this rule: every business exists to solve a business problem and create value for the customers. So that's the end of our lesson 1. I'll see you guys on lesson 2. Thank you. We learned that business exists to solve customer problems. Now let's learn how work gets done inside a business. Imagine Sarah walks into a Walmart to buy milk. So Walmart is a grocery store in Canada. So this sounds like a very simple activity, right? So Sarah enters the store, Sarah picks up milk, Sarah pays, Sarah leaves. So why I'm documenting this one, so you'll understand in a few seconds. Okay, just listen. So the entire process takes only few minutes. But did Sarah buy a milk by herself? No. Many people work together. Someone ordered the milk from the supplier. So we try to understand the bigger picture overall. Okay, someone ordered the milk from suppliers. So Walmart doesn't produce any milk. Walmart sell milk, right? So someone provide this milk to Walmart to sell this one. Someone transport the milk to store. That's another process. So logistic transportation. Someone stock in the cells, right? So that's another process. Someone maintain the inventory. Who knows how many packets are there and when to store. These are the inventory management. Someone process the payment, right? Like at the cashier. Someone manage the store. So each person performed a small task, right? So together they delivered a service to the customer, our customer Sarah. So this called business process. So this entire all the steps whatever I highlighted, so this the entire business process. A business process is simply a series of activities performed to achieve a business goal. So as a business analyst, when you are start writing requirements, when you are capture requirement, very important, you need to understand the business process. When I refer to business process, it's a detailed step what's happening behind the scene. Okay, so this is a goal. In this example is simple: sell milk to the customer. This one activity, right? The Walmart sell milk to the customer, but behind the scene, this all the people are involved. As a business analyst, one of our most important responsibilities is to understanding the business process. So this is very important. Let me highlight a business analyst main responsibility is understand the business process. Okay, we study what happens first, right? So we study what happens first, what happened next, who performs each activity, what information is needed, what could go wrong, right? So business analysts spend much of their time understanding and improving business process. Before moving to the next lesson, remember this rule: every service delivered to customer is supported by a business process working behind the scenes. I'll see you guys in lesson 3. In lesson 2, we learn that every business has process that help deliver products and service to customer, right? Now we are going to learn the most important skills of a business analyst. How to think like a business analyst. Okay, so as a business analyst, look at everyday activities differently. A normal customer sees the final result. A business analyst looks behind the scenes. Okay, so let's use a simple example. So we are going to use the same customer. Our customer Sarah visit bank because she want to open a bank account. Okay, so this is the scenario. So from Sarah's perspective, the process looks simple. She walks into the bank, she provides her information, the bank's employee create her account, Sarah receive her account number. She can now use online banking. Okay, very simple process for the customer perspective. But a business analyst asks different question. What information does Sarah need to provide, right? This information. Okay, so let me highlight this information. How does bank verify our identity, right? Like it's not like anyone can go give their information, bank give account number. That's not right the case, right, in the real world. So who approves the account? What systems are involved? Where is the customer information stored? So this is your checklist every time when you get a requirement. Okay, what happens if Sarah information cannot be verified? What happens if system is unavailable? These questions help understand the complete business process. Again, let me repeat: what information, data Sarah need to provide, customer need to provide, what does bank verify her identity, how does the bank verify, business rules, how who approves the account, right, who is the stakeholder, what systems are involved, where is the customer information stored, what happens if SAR information cannot be verified, exception handling. These are one. What happens if the system is available, right, how to proceed with this. These questions help us understand complete business process. So now next, a business analyst thinks about 5 things: people, okay, who is involved in the process, example customer, bank employee, manager, compliance team, fraud team, technology team. Process, second one is process, what steps are performed, example customer submit application, employee review information, identify verification is completed, account is created, customer receive confirmation. So these are the process involved, right? Information, what data is required, example customer name, date of birth, address, government ID, phone number, email address. So what information we collected from Sarah. Systems, what technology supports the process, example mobile banking application, customer database, core banking system, fraud detection system, notification system. And rules, what business rules must be followed, example customer must be at least 18 years old, identity must be verified, required documents must be provided, regulatory checks must be completed. So this exercise, think like a BA. Imagine you are a business analyst working at a bank. A customer wants to apply for a personal loan. Okay, so this is a scenario. Answer these 3 questions: people, who is involved, process, what step might happen, information, what information does the bank need, system, what system might be involved, what rules might the bank follow. So you can search these questions. You can use online, or like you can go to Google, or like you can call actual loan application, like you can call a customer care, or you can visit a website and try to answer this question by yourself. Okay, so this is your example. So this scenario, loan apply scenario, and identify these 4 components, 4 or 5 component. So our lesson summary: as a business analyst, what does not only look at what happens. Okay, a business analyst does not only look at what happens. A business analyst is to understand who performs the work, this customer or user, how the work is performed, who is doing what. So who is doing what information is required, right? This the data, what systems support the work, what rules control the process, like business rules. This way of thinking allows business analysts to understand problem and create better solution. Before moving forward, remember this rule: a business analyst connects people, process, information, system, and business rule to solve problem. So I'll see you guys in lesson 4. Thank you. We learned that business exists to solve customer problem, right? So in and business analyst study how work gets done. Okay, so there are two things. One is how the business process work, and business analyst study how to provide a solution. Okay, so now we are going to start our journey into a banking domain. So before becoming a banking business analyst, we need to understand one simple question: how does a bank work? Many people think a bank is just a place where we deposit and withdraw money, right? So but a modern bank is more than that. A bank is a business that provide financial service to customers. Those services include like opening a bank account, depositing and withdrawing money. You are familiar of this one, right? Sending and receiving payment, providing loans, issuing credit cards, debit cards, protecting customer from fraud, providing online banking service like investment. Behind every banking service there are people, remember, right? It's applicable uh, for any business. Behind the scene there are people, process, system, information, rules working together. Let me highlight this one. So as a business, and it doesn't matter which domain you are going to work, like healthcare, you are to work financial domain or entertainment domain, anywhere you need to understand who is the customer, that's our user, what process involved and what system involved, what data we need to collect information, what business rules are applicable. Okay, so these are the your key template to get your requirement. Okay, so now let's understand these things using a scenario. We continue with our customer Sarah open a bank account, that scenario. Okay, so imagine Sarah wants to open a new checking account, you know, right? So from Sarah's perspective the process looks simple. She downloads the banking mobile application here, and she enter her personal information. She upload her identification like ID card. We are talking about ID card or utility bill to verify the address. She submit the application. After approval she receive a new account number. Okay, now Sarah can deposit money, pay bills, transfer money, use her debit card, access online banking. But what happened behind the scene? Can you tell me? Many people and system work together, right? So think like a business analyst here. Let's look behind the scene. Step 1, customer application. So we are breaking down the process, what happened in order to provide account number to Sarah, right? So Sarah provide this information, right? Name, date of birth. These are the information Sarah provide, right? Address, phone number, email address. The mobile application collect this information. Step 2, identify verification. Now the information provided here, system has to verify, someone has to verify, right? The bank needs to confirm if Sarah really the person that claims to be, right? That's the question we try to verify here. To know your customer, KYC verification. The bank may check government identification, credit information, previous bank history, fraud databases. So just to validate if she's a good customer or if she's the right customer. Number 3, compliance check. Bank must follow government regulations. The bank perform checks such as KYC, AML, sanction screening. The rules help prevent illegal activities, right? Account creation. After approval, the banking system creates Sarah's account. The system stores customer information, account number, account type, account status. right? So step number 5, customer notification. Now everything pass. Sarah received confirmation message, account details, welcome email. Now Sarah, she can start using her account, right? So let's understand this is how the banking system work together to in order to create a Sarah's bank account. The system mobile banking app collect customer information. Customer management system store the customer detail. Identity verification system confirm customer identity. Fraud detection system checks suspicious activity. Core banking system creates and manage accounts. Notification system send message to customer. Okay, so business analyst view, a customer see a mobile app account created. A business analyst sees customer, this the flow, mobile application, identity verification system, compliance check, fraud detection system, core banking system, notification system, customer account is created. This is the flow, right? So this homework, this exercise for you, like think like a business analyst. Imagine you are a business analyst assigned to build a new account opening system. Okay, answer this question: who are the stakeholders? Okay, so you can go to your mobile banking if you don't know, or you can Google search, or you can call a customer care. You can ask this question and you can fill up this one. Example, customer, right? What information is required? You can write all your stakeholder here. What information is required? So you can ask your customer care agent, or you can find out from a website, right? To open a new account, what information is required here. I just provide only name. We discuss in the lesson also what systems are involved, right? I just provide one example. You can list everything. What business rules exist? Customer identity must be verified. This is just example, but you can fill up everything here as exercise. Okay, so lesson summary: a bank is not just building. Bank is a collection of people, process, systems, information, and rules working together to provide financial services. A banking business analyst must understand both the customer's business need, a technology that support the business process. Before moving forward, remember this rule: banking service is delivered when people, process, system, information, and rules work together successfully. Okay, that's it for lesson number 4. I'll see you guys on lesson number 5. Thank you. In the previous lesson, we learned how a customer open a bank account and how many people, process, and system work together behind the scenes, right? So today we will learn about the different systems that make modern banking possible. So as a business analyst, you do not need to build these systems. However, you must understand each of this does. Okay, why the system exists, what information it handles. So, okay, how system communicate with each other. This knowledge allows you to work effectively with business teams, developers, architects, and testers. So let me highlight, this is the team you are going to work with you. What is a banking system? A banking system software application that help banks perform its daily operations. A single bank does not use one system for everything. Different systems perform different responsibilities. Think about your grocery store. A cashier system handles payment. Inventory system tracks products. Employee system manages staff information. A bank works the same way. So different systems handle different banking activities. Major banking system. Let's look at the most common system used in banking. Okay. Core banking system, that's the first one. Core banking system is one of the most important system in a bank. In the central system that manage customer accounts and financial transaction. It store information such as customer accounts, account balances, deposits, withdrawals, transactions, interest calculations. Example, Sarah check her account balance using her mobile banking app. The mobile app does not calculate the balance. it only displayed. But where this balance comes, let's understand. It's required the information from core banking systems. Core banking system response Sarah's account balance is 5,000, for example. Okay, so number two, mobile banking system. The mobile banking system allows customer to access banking service using their phones. Customers can check account balance, transfer money, pay bills, deposit checks, manage cards. Example, Sarah opens her banking app. She clicks transfer money. The app send her request to other banking system. Right? Online banking system. That's another system. Online banking allow customer to access their service through a website. Customer can view statement, transfer fund, manage accounts, update personal information. The website connects with internet banking system, complete customer request. So payment system, the payment system handle money movement. Example, debit card payments, credit card payments, electronic payments, bill payments. Example, Sarah buys groceries using her debit card. The payment process involve customers, payment terminal, permanent network, bank system, approval response. Right, this is the flow. Fraud detection system, bank must protect customers and their money. Fraud detection system analyze transaction and look for suspicious activity. For example, Sarah automatically use her card in Toronto. Suddenly transaction appears from another country. The fraud system may identify this is unusual activity. It may approve the transaction, request additional verification, and block the transaction. Right? Number 6, customer relationship management, very important. CRM system help bank manage customer relationship. It will store information such as customer interaction, service requests, complaints, customer preference. Example, Sarah calls her bank about a problem. The customer service employee used the CRM system with Sarah's history. Think like a business analyst. Imagine you are working in a new banking feature. So if you are wondering what is a feature, let me quickly cover this one. Feature is a user-facing capability that delivers business value, like password reset, shopping cart, dark mode, right? Functionality, the detailed behavior that makes a feature work. Sending reset email, validating passwords, expiring tokens. So feature, what you are building. Functionality, how it behaves, right? Okay, let's go back to our lesson here. So imagine you are working on a new banking feature, allow customers to temporarily block their debit card using a mobile app. This is a feature. So as a business analyst, you would ask questions like, why does the customer need this feature, right? What problem are we solving? Who will use this feature? Process question, what happens when customers clicks block card? What happens after the card is blocked? How does the customer unblock the card? System questions, which systems are involved? Mobile banking system, card management system, core banking system, notification system. So data questions, what information is required? Customer ID, customer number, card status, transaction history. So let's do exercise. Match this system which is responsibility. System and core banking. So core banking, what provide banking service through the mobile devices, detects suspicious activity, manage customer account, process money movement, manage customer relationship. Okay, I'll leave it to you. What's the answer here? Okay, mobile banking, you can find the right choices here. Fraud detection system, you can find the right choice here. CRM system, and you can find the right system here. Payment system, you can find the right choices here. Okay, so these all from the above discussion. So lesson summary, mobile banking depends on many systems work together. The customer sees a simple action, transfer money, but behind the action, Mobile banking system send requests, security system verify the customer, fraud system check the transaction, payment systems move the money, core banking system update the account. A banking business analyst must understand how these systems work together. Remember this rule: a banking application is not one system, it's a group of connected systems working together to deliver a banking service. That's the end of lesson 5. I'll see you guys with the lesson 6. We learned that banks use many different systems to provide service to customers. Today we are going to understand the foundation behind all the systems. So we will learn what's the software application is, very important. How does an application work? What happens when a customer clicks a button? What are the main parts of a software system? Very important. This knowledge is extremely important for a business analyst to become. Every banking project involves softwares, right? So this is not only the banking project, any project, this is important. Okay, so because we are using the business domain as banking, so that's why I mentioned banking project. So any project, this is very important to understand the requirement. So what is a software application? A software application is a program that allows user to perform a specific task. Okay, so the software application is a program that allows user to perform a specific task. So here user is our customer and specific task is it's a business process, right? It's a manual world. Remember, Sarah opened a bank account. Sarah is the customer, which is user. Specific task, Sarah opened a bank account, or Sarah view the account balance. Example: a mobile banking app allows customer to manage their money. A shopping app allows customer to buy product. An ATM application allows customer to withdraw cash. A loan application system allows bank employees to proceed loan applications. A software application helps people to complete business activity. There are many scenarios and use cases involved, but these are some examples to that, just to understand the concept. So simple example, let's look at the banking application. Sarah opened her mobile banking application. She enters her username password. She clicks login. From Sarah's perspective, it looks simple. She only clicked one button, but behind the scenes many activities are happen. So what happens when Sarah clicks login? Let's understand. Step 1, user interface. User interface is like UI. It's like your remote control. So if you can see your remote control or your keyboard, you see some buttons, right? That's the user interface, what you see. But when you click that, press that button, when you click delete button, it delete your text. But when you click your volume increase button, it increase the volume on your TV. So that's the user interface, what you see on remote control, like what you actually see. That's a user interface. Sarah interacts with the mobile application, the screen where she enters her username and password called the user interface, right? Where Sarah enters the information, that's a user interface. Very important, you need to understand. We'll be using this terminology going forward to discuss all the lessons. Okay, so the UI collects her information. Examples: username Sarah 123, password 1234, whatever. So then it sent the request. Step 2, backend system. The backend receives Sarah's login request. The backend contains the logic. It detects the customer registered. Is the password correct? Is the account correct or active? Backend communicates with the other system. So step number 3, database. The database store information: customer name, username, encrypted password, account information, transaction history. The backend checks the database to verify the Sarah's information. So you don't need to worry about the front end UI and the business process and the database. We'll be covering and we'll be discussing in different lesson in detail. So just to understand the process, just you can watch. Step number 4, response. After verification, the backend sends a response. It's successful, either or login successful. It's if unsuccessful, invalid username or password. You are seeing this message, right? The application displays a result to Sarah. Think like a business analyst. A customer sees login button, account dashboard. A business analyst sees user interface. Okay, so this is from the customer perspective, but now you are a business analyst, how you would read or you will interpret these screens, user interface, backend service, database, security validation, response message. The three main parts of a software application. Most applications have three major components: front end, UI, user interface. The front end is what user sees in the interact with, example mobile app screen, website pages, buttons, forms, menus, and questions. A BA asks what does a user need to see, what information should be displayed, what action should be the user perform. Backend, the backend is where business rules and processing happen. Example, valid login, calculate login eligibility, process payment, create accounts. Questions, BA asks what business question is required, what decision must the system make, what happens after user action. So number 3, the database store information. Example, customer records, account details, loan application information, transaction history. Questions as a BA asks what information need to be stored, what information need to be retrieved, how is data related. Real banking example, customer open a mobile banking app, customer clicks transfer $500, the process mobile app, the backend service, security check, fraud detection system, payment system, core banking system, database update, confirmation message. The customer sees transfer completed, but many systems work together. So answer the following questions. Okay, which part of the application does the customer interact with? Database, front end, back end. Okay, so you can find the answer from the lesson. Okay, where is the customer account information stored? You can see here where is front end or screen or database. Question number 3, where does business logic usually happen? Backend, database, or user interface? Question number 4, a customer transfer money using a mobile app. Name 3 systems that may be involved. Okay, our lesson summary. A software application is a tool that helps user complete a task. Most applications have 3 important parts: front end, back end. Front end is what users see, back end where the process is happening, database where the information is stored. Business analyst must understand how these parts work together because business requirement become software features. Remember this rule: a user action starts a journey through the front end, back end, and database before the result delivered back to the user, which is customer. Okay, that's the end of our lesson number 6. Very important. I'll see you guys with the important lesson number 7. Thank you. This lesson we learned that software application have 3 main parts: front end, back end, database. Today we are going to learn one of the most important concepts in modern software systems: how do different systems communicate with each other. This topic is specifically important for banking business analysts because banks rarely use only one system. So a banking service usually requires many systems to work together. The technology that allows system to communicate is called an API. Okay, so what is an API? API stands for application programming interface. That sounds complicated, right? But the idea is simple. An API is a way for one software system to request information for send information to another software system. Think about an API like a waiter in a restaurant. So restaurant example, imagine you go to a restaurant. You do not walk into kitchen and prepare your own food, right? So you do not tell the chef directly what you want. Instead, this is the flow. Customer, you as a customer, you go to lobby, you check the waiter provide you a menu, so you select the menu and confirm to waiter. Waiter take the order to kitchen prepare the kitchen and kitchen prepare the chef prepare the menu food and waiter deliver to you, right? So the waiter takes your order to kitchen and brings your food back. The waiter acts as a communication channel here, right? You see, waiter, customer, and kitchen, waiter, and customer. The waiter acts communication channel and API works in a similar way. So waiter is the API for the software. So banking example, Sarah wants to check her account balance using her mobile banking app. What happens? Sarah opens the app, she click view balance. The mobile apps need information from the core banking system. The mobile app does not directly access the database. Instead it sends a request through an API. The flow looks like this: customer, mobile banking app, API, core banking system, database response, mobile banking app, customer see the balance. So to think like a business analyst, a BA does not need to write API code. However, BA needs to understand what information being requested, which system send the request, which system receive the request, what information is returned, and what happen if something fails. API request and response. Every API communication has two important parts. Request. A request is a message asking another system to perform action. Example: mobile app sends please provide RS account balance. The request may include customer ID, account number, request type. In the response, response is the information written by the system. Example: core banking system response, customer name Sarah, account type is checking, balance is $5,000. So real banking API example 1, login. Customer enter username and password. Mobile app send request. API communicate with the authentication system. System verifies customer information. Response will tell login successful. Example 2, money transfer. Customer transfer $500. Mobile app sends transfer request. API communicates with the security system, fraud system, payment system, core banking system. Response transfer is completed. So example 3, loan application. Customer apply for a loan. Loan system may communicate with credit bureau, income verification system, fraud detection system. Response: loan approved or declined. Why do banks use APIs? Banks use API because system can work together. Different system can communicate without being rebuilt. Okay, so information can move quickly. Customer is instant response. Business can add new features. For example, bank can connect its mobile app with a new payment service. Think like a BA exercise. This exercise, banks want to add a new feature, allow customers to see their credit score inside the mobile banking app. You have seen this picture, but just answer this question. Answer this question: which system does the customer use? Which system contain the credit score? How will the system communicate? What information need to be exchanged? So I'll leave to you. You fill up this information. Okay. So lesson summary: modern banking depends on connected system. API allow different applications to communicate with each other. A business analyst must understand which system are involved, what information moves between systems, when communication happen, what happens when communication fails. Remember this rule: an API is a bridge that allows software system to exchange information and work together. That's the end of lesson number 7. I'll see you guys on lesson number 8. Thank you. We learn how systems communicate with each other using APIs. Today we are going to learn another important concept for every business analyst: data. Data is information. So data is everything. Every business process creates, uses and stores data. Banks are specifically data-driven organization because almost every banking activity involves customer and financial information. A business analyst must understand what data is needed, where is the data stored, who uses the data, how does the data move between systems. So what is data? Data is information that a business collects and uses perform its activities, right? So simple example of data: a person's name is a data piece of data, a phone number is a piece of data, account balance is a data, transaction amount is data, a loan application status is data, a credit score is a data. So data help business make decisions and provide services. So real world example, let's go back to Sarah's opening a bank account example. Sarah provides information to the bank. The bank collect customer information: full name, date of birth, address, phone number, email, identification number. This information become customer demographics, we can say. The banks store this data so it can provide service to Sarah in the future. Type of banking data. Bank manages many different type of data. Let's look at the most common ones. Customer data. Customer data identify who is the customer. Example, customer ID, name, date of birth, address, phone number, email. Example, customer ID, Sarah's name, customer type. Account data. Account data describe the customer's banking accounts. Example, account number, account type, account status, opening date, customer balance. Example, account number 989987654, account type checking account, status is active. So next one, transaction related data. Transaction data records money movement. Example, transaction ID, date, amount, transaction type, description. Example, transaction ID TX1001 and date July 15, amount $500, type transfer. Okay, so loan data. Loan system store information about borrowing activities. Example, loan number, loan amount, interest rate, loan term, approval status. You see this example, loan amount 50,000, loan status approved, term is 5 years. Where is data stored? Data is stored in databases. Database is an organized place where information can be stored and retrieved. Think about a filing cabinet. A filing cabinet contains many folders. Each folder contains information. Database works in a similar way. Database example, imagine simple customer database. Customer table, here customer ID. Here you can see this is a customer ID 1001 and name Sarah. Phone number 555 customer ID 1002 John 5555678. Each row represent one customer. Each column represent a piece of information. Think like a business analyst. Business analyst does not design a database every day. However, a BA needs to understand the requirement. Example, a business ask is we want customer to update their phone number using mobile banking. BA task, what information needs to be changed? Customer ID, old phone number, new phone number, who can update it? We do need approval. Which information, which system need the updated information? Data flow example, customer update the phone number, the flow, customer, mobile banking app, API, customer management system. Database update, confirmation message, the customer sees phone number updated successfully behind the scene. Data mode between systems. So think like a business analyst. Be exercise. A bank wants to create a new feature. Customer can view their last 10 transactions in the mobile app. Answer the question, what data is required? Example, transaction date. Which system stored in this information? That's the second question. How does the mobile app get this information? What happens if transaction data is unavailable? Okay, if you don't know the answer, just type in the comments, so we will chat together and provide you answer. Okay, so but you can find answer from the lesson. Lesson summary. Data is one of the most valuable assets in the banking. Every banking process creates and uses data. A business analyst must understand what information is needed for each feature, where information is stored, and how information moves between systems, how information support business process. Remember this rule: system perform actions, but data gives system the information they need to work. Okay, so that's the end of lesson number 8. I'll see you guys on lesson number 6. Thank you very much. In the previous lessons, we learned about business activities, banking systems, software applications, APIs, data. So today we are going to learn one of the most important skill of a business analyst, understanding and documenting business processes. So a business analyst spend a lot of time answering important question. How does work get done? Right? So this answer is the business process. So let's understand what's a business process here. A business process is a series of steps performed by these people and system to achieve a business goal. So the previous lesson you have seen one simple action, one scenario. Behind the scene, who is involved and system is involved, people are involved. So we are going to understand how the business process works. So simply put, a process explain what happens, who does it, when does it happen, what information is needed. So if you want to think like a business analyst, if you want to capture requirement, if you want to work like a business analyst, this is what business analysts need to find out from the existing business process. Okay, so always keep it ready, this question on your mind, in your mind, so that you can get answer and you can capture your requirement. So let's understand this question through real world example. Let's think about buying a coffee. So a customer walk into a coffee shop. The customer select a drink, place an order, pays for the order, receive the coffee, right? So you go to the counter, Tim Hortons or any McDonald's, any favorite coffee shop. You ask double or whatever your favorite coffee is, place an order, and you pay debit or cash or credit card, and you receive the coffee, right? So behind the scene, the cashier records the order, right? You see cashier enter into the system, the payment system process the payment, right? So you see the same amount display on the payment panel, right? Like a machine on the debit or credit machine, or you can see in the display as well. So the receipt is printed. When the payment is completed, receipt is printed, and this order go to the kitchen, right? The kitchen prepare the drink. The employee give the coffee to the customer. This is a business process, right? In a banking example, let's look at the banking process. We'll keep the same example from Sarah. A customer wants to open a new account. The process may look like this. Step 1, customer starts application. Customer provide personal information. Bank verifies identity. Step number 4, compliance checks are completed. Step number 5, bank creates account. So customer receive a confirmation. This is an account opening process. So why do business analysts study process? Why it's important to study process? Before improving a system, we must understand the current existing process, right? The current state. So a BA cannot create new solution without understanding the existing business problem, right? So a business analyst task is why, who perform each activity. Like we want to know who is the user, who is the customer or client. So here we have an example: customer, bank employee, compliance team. Okay, so what information is required? Example, name is required, address is required, government ID is required, income information is required, right? So here the person who wants to open account, customer, who process the request, that's the bank employee, who validate the customer document, compliance team. So that's what the who involved in this process. What data is required? So here going forward, we can use, instead of information, we can use the right word, data, because you have just learned data, right? So what data we collect from the customer? Name, address, government ID, and these are the documentation, income information. What systems are involved? Mobile application, the front end, it's collect information. Core banking, validate the information. Fraud system, approve, validate and approve the detail. So what problem exists? For example, application takes too long, customer enter in incorrect information, employee perform manual checks. So as is, current state is the current way work is performed is called as is process. As is mean how things work today, current state. Example, current account opening process, customer visit a branch, employee enters information manually, documents are checked manually, account approval takes 3 days. To be process, future state, the improved future process is called to be process. To be means how we want to process to work in the future, right? Digitalized process. Example, new digital account opening process, customer apply through the mobile app, identity is verified automatically, account is created instantly, right? This is the expected solution, which is to be or future state. So process mapping here. A process mapping means creating a visual representation of a process. A process map help everyone understand steps, responsibilities, decisions, and systems involved. So simple process flow example, you see customer account opening scenario. Start, customer submit application, verify customer identity. Decision is information valid? Yes, create account. If not, do not create the account. Send confirmation, and no request additional information, right? So streamline diagram, so you can create different type of diagrams. So here we are going to discuss about the swim lane diagram. In real project, business analysts often use swim lane diagram. Swim lane shows a different component, right? So that's why very important is to identify the different component responsibility, who performs each activity, which department owns each step. For example, let me make this one a little bigger. Okay, so customer submit application, bank system compliance team here. Bank system receive request, upload documents, store data, okay, and verify information. Customer receive account, create account, and approve by the compliance team. Okay, so this is the uh, each category, each component have a different role and different responsibility. So customer will do this action, bank system do this action, compliance do these actions. Okay, think like a BA exercise. Imagine you are documenting a loan application process here. Identify step number 1, what does the customer do first. Okay, you have to fill up this one. Who reviews the application. Step number 3, what information is required. Step number 4, what happens if the loan is rejected. What system may be involved, what systems are involved. So very important. If you don't know how the scenario is, you can go to a loan company or like visit a website, online loan application website, and you can find out this information and you can fill out this one. Okay. Lesson summary. Business process describe how work gets completed. Business analysts use process mapping to understand people, activities, system, information, decisions. So let me highlight this all. It's very important. And before creating a new software solution, BA must first understand the existing process. Remember this rule: a business analyst does not start with technology. A business analyst start with understanding the business process. So that's the end of the lesson number 9. I'll see you guys on lesson number 10. Thank you. Lesson number 10 of module number 1. Okay, so in the previous lesson we learned about business process and how business analyst document how work gets completed, right? So today we are going to learn one of the most important responsibility of a business analyst, which is understanding and documenting requirements. So this is the core responsibility of a business analyst, capturing the requirements and documenting them to software development. So a business analyst is often described as a person who connect the business and technology team, right? So if you try to search the definition of a business analyst, you find this answer: the bridge between technology team and business, who connects, that's a business analyst. The business explain what problem they have, right? The technology team builds the solution. So the business analyst help translate the business need into clear requirement. Okay, because business analyst can speak, understand the both side the terminologies and the language. So that's why the business analyst role is existing. So what is a requirements? Let's understand, because if you are going to be a business analyst, you need to know what is a requirement. So requirement is a statement that describes something a business needs from a solution. So simply put, a requirement explain. Going to highlight many of these words, because what should the system do? So that's a requirement, right? Or what does the business need? This is very important. What actually the user want, right? The end user or the stakeholder. What does the business want, right? So real world example: imagine Sarah visit a bank. She says, I want to check my account balance using my mobile phone, right? So this is a business need. A business analyst task is: what does Sarah need? Why does she need it? How should the system support her? The requirement may become: the mobile banking application must allow customer to view their account balance, right? So you see this simple action, you have to convert it into you have to properly document. That's the only thing. Okay, so it's the same meaning. This way the business understand, this way the technology team understand to build this one, right? So the business analyst should be able to translate, right, from here to there and there to here, which is business to technology team, IT team to business need, right? So this requirement can be understood by this what we discussed: business team, developers, testers, and project managers. So business analyst has to change the terminologies, explanations based on the audience you are addressing or talking to them, right? So it's the same need. You have to explain in a different way, you have to document in a different way, right? So why are requirements important? Let's understand. With the clear requirement, developers may build the software solution. So developer are the people who write the code, program the solution based on the business requirement, right? The customer may not receive what they need. Projects may experience delays, money and time may be wasted. Good requirement reduce confusion. So clarity is very important. So business analyst can provide those clarification on the requirement. Types of requirements. There are three common types of requirement a business analyst work with. Number one, business requirement. So this is the beginning of the requirement. Business requirement explain why are we building this solution. Why we are building solution mean it's referring to the software application. So they describe the business goal. Example, business requirement: the bank wants to reduce the customer service calls by allowing customer to review account balances through the mobile banking, right? So if every customer want to know the customer account balance, if they cannot self-serve, like if there is no automatic way, so the number of calls going to increase to the customer care center, right? So we need a lot of resources to answer, just to help customers. Say it's a tedious process, right? We need to validate the customer information and we need to ask the right questions, and every time customer wants to know the balance, right? Like how much is the account balance, they need to make a call. So that's going to increase bank expenses, because we need a lot of customer service agents to be online to help customers to let them know the account balances. But what happen if we give a self-serve, like a digital platform, so customer can log in 24/7 and without placing a call to the customer care, and they can view their account balance through mobile app or desktop apps. So this is the focus of business objective. So functional requirement. Let me explain you what does the functional requirement is. What should the system do, right? So we understand what the business want. So how we can write to program this one, how the developer, how we document for the developers to program this one. So this describes system behavior. Functional requirements: the system shall allow customer to view their current account balance. The system shall display the last 10 transactions. The system shall allow customer to transfer money. These describe feature, right? So this morning, the feature, let me remind you what is a feature again. Feature and functionality. So feature is a user-facing capability that delivers business value. So password reset, shopping cart, dark mode, these are feature. Functionality, the detailed behavior that makes a feature work, sending a reset email, validating, right? So feature, what we are building; functionality, how it behaves. Okay, so let's go to the lesson number 10. We are here. So this describe feature, we discuss about the functional requirement. Number 3, functional non-functional requirement. Non-functional requirement is how should the system perform. So let me explain you, giving one example. They describe the quality of expectation, performance. The system should display account balance within 3 seconds. Security, the system must require multi-factor authentication. Availability, the system should available 99 almost like every time system should available. Okay, so banking example, the business problem: customer call the bank frequently to check their account balance. Okay, so this is the scenario. So what is the business requirement here? The bank wants to customer to access account information digitally. That's a business requirement. Functional requirements are the system must allow customer to log in securely, view account balance, view transaction history. So what is non-functional requirements are the system must protect customer information, respond quickly, support thousands of users, scalability. Okay, so think like a business analyst. A business stakeholder says we need a better loan application system. So a beginner may immediately think, let's build a new system. A business analyst asks questions. Business question: why is a new system needed? What problem exists today? What business goal are we trying to achieve? Right. So you to ask this question always to before you capture the requirement. Okay. So process questions: how does the current loan process work? Why are delays happening? Where the delays are happening? Who is involved? Requirement question: what should the new system do? What information is needed? What rule must be followed? Okay, so requirement gathering: business and collect requirements from stakeholders. Common techniques: interviews, talking directly with users, right, like meeting loan officers to understand the problem, right? So you can work in the queue and you can understand what's the pros and cons, pain points of the user or the customer or the end user who is going to use our software solution. This our case, the loan officer is going to use the solution, so you can sit with them and understand what problem are they are facing. So workshop, this is a very good method. Like I personally prefer this method. If you want to learn the current process as is process, work one day or half a day, like a couple of hours, because your eyes are very good, because then someone is explaining, right? You can clearly see what they are doing and you can take notes. Then you can convert those into business process, right? The workshops, group discussion with the different stakeholders. So the interviews are the practical way to understand the current process. Workshop, you're discussing, right? So I would recommend this is more effective if you can be with them one day or half a day or 1 hour or 2 hour, so you can understand the current process very well. So workshop also work if someone can explain clearly in and out. Okay. Observation, watching user perform their work. So this involve with the interviews, right? So if you work with them, the observation will complete. Watching a bank employee process the loan application. Job shadowing, I would say. Document analysis, reviewing the existing documents, current processes and procedures. So there are a lot of documentation you will receive in a project, like a Confluence pages, existing BRDs, and manual process, user manuals. So it's pretty much reading. It's like you are going back to school, but I would prefer job shadowing, like interview people and get to know what they are doing, right? So instead of, then you can come back to document analysis. You can read the document, so you will get a better understanding. So I'm not saying that you cannot learn from documentation. You can learn from the documentation, but if you see what they are actually doing, and that is more effectively, you can understand the process. So think like a BA exercise. A bank wants to improve its loan process. Answer 3 questions. What is the business problem? Question number 2, what business requirement might exist? Give 2 functional requirement, give 1 non-functional requirement. Okay, so lesson summary: requirements are bridge between business need and the technology solution. A business analyst must understand why the business needs something, what the system should do, how the system should perform. Remember this rule: a business analyst does not simply collect requirements. A business analyst discovers the real business problem and translate into a solution that creates value. Okay, so that's the end of our module 1. I'll see you guys with the new module number 2, lesson number 1. Thank you guys.